Hi, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate how to make this pretty little candy bowl using fabric. Now I currently have Valentine fabric on it. I have a darker fabric on the outside and then a lighter fabric on the inside. This is really simple. You start out with this circle and voila, it turns into this cute little bowl. Not only could you keep it at home on your dining table as a little dessert tray, you could also keep it on your desk at work on special holidays to hand out the candy. I'm ready to already eat this candy, but I better not. My husband will be mad. Okay, well, let's get started. You're going to need one large dinner plate that you'll use as a template. You're going to need 2 pieces of fabric that are larger than the dinner plate, and you want one for the inside, one for the outside. You'll also need iron-on fusible interfacing, preferably the heavy iron-on fusible interfacing. Also, it needs to be larger than the size of your dinner plate. And of course, the most important thing is, of course, the chocolate candy. Put the plate face down and then draw all the way around. After drawing, then go ahead and cut the circle out. Now fold the paper circle in half and press the edges. And you're going to fold it in half again and line it all up and press the edges. Fold it in half again, pressing the edges as you go, and fold it one more time. Now take something round. I'm using a 4-inch round circle template, and place one edge of the template on this corner and just kind of push it up to where it looks something like this, okay? You have about 1 inch of space right here. And then just draw a line. And then with a pair of scissors, go ahead and cut it out. Take your fabric piece that you want on the outside of the bag and then place your paper template on top and place a straight pin in each of the scalloped edges. Then go ahead and trace around the template all the way around. I like to store my paper templates so that I can use them again and again. So I like to store them away by just folding them up and putting them in these plastic Ziploc bags. And then I file them away in a little fabric cube basket. Now layer your fabrics. Place your heavy iron-on interfacing down first with the shiny side up. That's where the glue is. Then take your fabric for the inside of the bowl and put the back side against that glue side. Then take your fabric square that you've drawn the scalloped pattern on and place it face down. So now you're looking at the pattern. Then go ahead and place pins at every one of the scalloped areas. After you have pinned all of them, then go ahead and cut all the layers out. Now place pins all along the edges like this. And you're going to leave an opening on one of the scalloped sections. So you're going to start stitching here and do a few stitches back and forth. And you're doing a 1/4 inch seam. So stitch all the way around. And when you come to where I've got the 2 pins here, then go ahead and stop and do a few stitches back and forth. Now whenever you come to any of these little dips in here, you always want to stop there, leave the needle down, lift up your presser foot, and then turn your little fabric bowl and continue stitching around. Now, if you have an option of moving your needle left or right, which I do on my machine, I've moved mine over to the right, and then I lowered the needle down in exactly where I want to start. So then I'm going to do a couple of stitches back and forth, not very many. Also, if you have an option to leave your needle down or needle up, I always leave mine in the down position when I'm doing something like this. So go ahead. Whoops, let me go back the other way. Okay, I'm at that little point now, so I'm going to turn it. My presser foot comes up, my needle is still down, and I'm going to start stitching around. And you want to just stitch really slow. And so you're going to continue doing this all the way around. Now I've just finished coming around, so I'm going to do my last couple of stitches. And then I'm going to go back a couple of times and then tie it off. Now you're going to fuse the interfacing to the fabric itself. So have the interfacing side up. And follow the instructions that comes with your package of heavy iron-on interfacing. It'll probably tell you to use a damp cloth, so I usually just keep a spray bottle at my ironing board, and I just dampen it down pretty good, okay? And then using a hot iron with steam, you're going to hold it in place, and it's probably going to say 8, 10, or 12 seconds. You hold it, and then you would move over to the next space and do the same thing. So you would do that all over the fabric bowl. Now you want to go along and just snip the edges, and make sure you do not cut through your stitch line. Now every time you come to a little dip, what I like to do is just go straight in like that. Now at your opening right here, you want to do very tiny little snips, because we're going to need to fold these edges, and if your snips are too deep, it's going to be very hard to finish off that curve. So go around and do all of your little snips. Now go back to your ironing board, and at the opening you want to fold these edges back. And I first finger press them a little bit, going over that 1/4 of an inch. And then with my iron, I press it. And then I flip it over, making sure that the underside is still folded like it's supposed to be. Then do the same thing on the other side. Finger press it a little bit, and maybe even give it a little spritz of water so it's nice and damp, so it'll be easier to do it. This way, when you turn it front side out, you've already got this curve pressed and ready to close up. Now you're going to reach inside of this opening and slowly push it front side out. After you've got it front side out, you want to reach inside and smooth out all these edges. Now I have this little tool here. I use it quite often. So here's my opening. I'm just going to reach inside here and push against the seams. And you want to go around to all of your little scalloped areas and do that. If you are having problems getting your curves to come out nice, they're just being stubborn, you can take a straight pin and just go right into the seam and tug on it like that, and then finger press it down. Then after you've done all of that, you've gotten all that done, you want to refold these edges back in case they got all messed up while you were turning it out. And you want to pin them closed. So do that through this curve over here. Then go to your ironing board and give it one more good pressing. Now I'm at my sewing machine, and I'm going to do a top stitch around all of the edges, and I'm going to stitch fairly close, a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch. So if you have the option on your sewing machine of leaving your needle down every time your machine stops, set it to that position. I've also got my needle going more to the right, so if you have that option, go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of back stitches, And then I'm going to continue stitching all around. Now remember, when you go around curves, you want to make sure you go slow. Don't go too fast. Take your time, because you want to make it look really, really nice. And now every time you come to these little dips right here, get right about there into the dip. Now my presser foot automatically comes up when I stop, so I'm going to turn it. If yours doesn't, lift up your presser foot, turn your fabric bowl, and begin stitching around the next curve. Now take your bowl and you're going to fold it like this and make sure it's even up around here. And then you're going to draw a line. Let me move this back a little bit. There we go. And what you're going to do is about 1/4 inch of a way in from the folded edge, you're going to come in, and then you're going to come down and you're going to draw a line from that point to the 1.5 inch spot. Now I'm just using a pencil and I'm going to draw it very light, so when I stitch over it, no one's going to see it. So you don't want to make the line too dark, and just go along there. Then you're going to stitch. You're making a dart. You're giving the bowl its shape. So now stitch back and forth a few times here. Go down to that folded edge, stitch back a few times, and do this little dart at every one of these little dips. Now after you're done stitching on the darts, this is what it'll look like. So now all you need to do is turn it to where the outside fabric is now showing. You can go ahead and just turn it around and push that shape into the bowl. And now the only thing that's missing from this right now, of course, is the candy. So make sure you pour lots of candy in it. Now, if you're wondering, well, what can I do with this? Well, yes, it's a candy bowl. You can keep this at your desk at work. So as people, your friends come by, they can take a piece of candy. You can even give this to someone special on Valentine's Day. And don't forget, there's Easter. You can put little candy Easter eggs in it. Make one for Mother's Day, and of course, Christmas. I hope you learned something new in this video tutorial. For other novelty projects, check below your YouTube screen for the video links. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thanks for watching, and happy sewing, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the thumbs up button. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, click on that red subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Click on the bell so you can receive notifications about my latest videos. I'm Cheryl, and this is Scotty, and this is Manny. See you next time, and happy sewing!